Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up part B of the syllabus, which deals with functional specialization. We'll be taking up the first one, that is financial management, chapter 9, and this one is part A of chapter 9, that is financial management, where we'll be introducing the concept of financial management. When we say finance, that means it is a broad concept covering capital, fund, and other resources which are convertible into monetary form. So we see what exactly is the goal setting for a finance manager in terms of the objectives of financial management. If we see, we have two concepts which moves, and I'm tracing this from your 11th. In the sources of business finance also we had dealt. There are two concepts, traditional concept and modern concept. Profit maximization, where a conservative approach of one financial year is to be taken up, is the first objective, and the modern goes with wealth maximization. If we say profit maximization, it means that an organization's main activity as an economic entity is to earn profit, and business as an economic institution, while earning profit, intends to cover its cost and provide fund for growth. No business can survive without profit. So profit is measurement of efficiency and is protecting you against the risk, which can be ensured as accumulated profit, enabling the business to face the risk, competition, and adverse government policies. So this is usually for one financial year we talk of. Now then comes the modern concept of wealth maximization, that is year after year when you are continuing. It is appropriate objective of an enterprise where the financial theory asserts that wealth maximization is a single substitute for stakeholders' utility, what we'll be talking later on in terms of EPS, earning per share. As a owner for an organization, what is your immediate and long-term return? When the firm maximizes these stakeholders' wealth, the individual stakeholder, stockholder, whatever we say is the same, can use this wealth to maximize his individual utility. The same thing we put it other way around also, that the objective is being providing a framework for optimum financial decision. In management, as I've already said in my previous slides, we use word optimum. Maximum and minimum is to be avoided. They are concerned with designing a method of operating the internal investment and financing of a firm. There are two widely discussed approaches. As you could see, at one side we are saying profit maximization, and the other side we have taken up the wealth maximization figure. We'll be dealing with this. Now, profit or EPS maximization should be undertaken, and those that decreases profit should be avoided. Profit is a test of efficiency, so it leads to efficient allocation of resources, as these resources tend to be directed to use which in terms of profitability are most desirable. Financial management is concerned with efficient economic resources, namely capital, and we find normally there was a flaw which led to the wealth maximization concept. So the main technical flaw of this criteria is ambiguity, time timing of the benefit, and the quality of the benefit. That today what you are sacrificing, tomorrow what it is going to give you, you don't know. So people prefer taking today's approach. Next we come to wealth maximization. As you find that the money is growing at the top, it is known as value or net present or net worth maximization. Its operational feature satisfies all the three requirements of the operational of the financial course of action, namely exactness, quality of the benefit, and the time value of the money. Now, when you go for higher studies, you'll be working on this. Right now, you have to only understand that the two important issues related to valuation of the share price maximization are focus on the stakeholder. That is, the stakeholder includes group of such employees, customers, suppliers, creditors, owners who have a direct link to the firm. And EAV, that is economic value added, is equal to the after-tax operating profit of a firm less the cost of the firm to finance the investment. We take second concept which will be prevailing in the entire chapter, that is financial planning. First we are taking financial objectives, then we are taking financial planning. Now, financial planning is a process of estimating capital required and determining its component. I'm sorry, it's written competition, it should be component. It is the process of framing financial policies in relation to procurement, investment, and administration of fund of an enterprise. Or other way around also we can say, it's the process of framing objective policies, procedure, program, and budgets, all those management functions regarding the financial activities of a concern. This ensures effective and adequate financial and investment policies. Now, this financial planning will take in two components, the objective of it and the importance of it. Let's see what objective of financial planning goes with. First, we need to determine the capital requirement. This will depend upon the factors like cost of current and fixed assets that we are taking up, promotional expenses, and long-range planning. Capital requirement have to be looked with both the aspects, short-term and long-term, in terms of fixed capital acquisition, working capital acquisition. Then determining this capital structure, that is the component of debt and equity. Capital structure is the component or composition of capital, that is relative kind and proportion of the capital required in the business. This includes debt equity ratio, both short term and long term. Third is framing financial policies with regards to cash control, lending, borrowing. Fifth is a finance manager ensures during financial planning that the scarce financial resources are best utilized so that at least the cost in order to get maximum return on the investment. We'll be discussing on these concepts later on, that what is the return on investment and how it works out. Right now we have to understand that we need to determine our capital requirement, capital structure, framing policies, and ensuring maximum return on investment. If you see with whatever we have discussed, we were talking about two aspects, cost, revenue. What we are spending, what we are saving. The entire gimmick in the financial management rests on these two pillars. Now if we see how we say a financial planning is good or bad, effective or ineffective. We have two sides of the seesaw. If both the sides are balanced, we say it is effective. The component remains the same. Your assets plus earning, that is employment plus investment and retirement part, whereas the other part is spending, taxes, legacy and charitable objectives. If they both are balanced, we say the financial planning is justified or is effective. Thanks, and I welcome you all again in the further sessions where we'll be going in depth with financial management. Now we are moving with a step towards specialization. Thank you.